Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa amma ba'd. Fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa man ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ila Allahi wa 'amila salihan wa qala innani minal muslimin. Sadaqallahu al-azim. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the tawfiq and the ability to come early to His house to listen to benefit from some dini knowledge. As previously we are done with regards to the life of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayh. Today inshallah we will do with regards to the life of Imam Malik rahmatullah alayh. Imam Malik rahmatullah alayh was known as the Imam of Darul Hijrah, meaning Medina Munawwara. He was the Imam of Medina Munawwara. Imam Malik rahmatullah alayh was born in 93rd year after Hijri. That's 716 CE, in the blessed city of Medina Munawwara. His parents were Anas, whose forefathers were Sahaba radiyallahu anhum. During childhood, the young Malik bin Anas learned Qiraat and the sanad of the glorious Quran from the Madani leader and Qurra, Imam Nafi rahmatullah alayh. Imam Nafi rahmatullah alayh was an Imam in Madinatul Munawwara, and he was one of the leading Qurra. So Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi learned Quran from him and his Qiraat from him. His quest for further knowledge was not constrained by real poverty at home. He would sell wood and acquire money to purchase kitabs. So you imagine, he would sell wood to the people, and the money that he would get from there, he would purchase his kitabs, his books that he needed to study dini knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with such outstanding faculty of memory that whatever he read once, it was preserved in his memory. Straight away he would know it. Ek baar unhone pal liya, bas yaad aa gaya. That was his memory that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given him. He was tall and well built, fair skin with a long nose and little hair above his forehead. He was handsome in appearance, well dressed, often in white, and well perfumed. His Ustad Nafi rahimahullah in Medina Munawwara, after the death of the famous Sahabi and Muhaddis Abdullah bin Umar radiyallahu anhu, his ilmi successor was Nafi rahimahullah. So after this Sahabi radiyallahu anhum, Hazrat Abdullah bin Umar radiyallahu anhu passed away, his student Imam Nafi rahimahullah took after him and would teach in Madinatul Munawwara. He was also as a slave for Hazrat Abdullah bin Umar radiyallahu anhu under 30 years of his patronage, saying under his khidmat. Now you can imagine how much he must have benefited from the Sahabi radiyallahu anhu, Imam Nafi rahmatullah alayhi, that he stayed under him for 30 years. And other ustads of his, other teachers of Imam Nafi rahmatullah alayhi was also Hazrat Abu Huraira radiyallahu anhu, Hazrat Sa'id Khudri radiyallahu anhu, Hazrat Mu'minin Aisha radiyallahu anha. So Imam Nafi also benefited from these Sahaba radiyallahu anhum. Then the student of Imam Nafi rahmatullah alayhi, Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, as long as his teacher was alive, he spent approximately 12 years in his company and in his lectures. This is why so many of the narrations of Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi and kitabs that he learned came through Imam Nafi rahmatullah alayhi, who was the student of Abdullah bin Umar radiyallahu anhu. So you can see that, like how we done the link with Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi, Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, how close he was with the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, that he is ustad, unke ustad, unhone Sahaba radiyallahu anhum se para tha. So how close the link was. The Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, he is considered amongst the Tabi Tabi'in. Tabi Tabi'in kaun hai? पहले खैरुल कुरून हम खुतबा में पढ़ते हैं خَيْرُ الْقُرُونِ ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَلُونَهُمْ ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَلُونَهُمْ. And the best of times was the time of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. Then after them, who came after them? After them came the Tabi'een. And then those people who came after them are called the Tabi Tabi'een. Now Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi was amongst the Tabi Tabi'een. Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, he had approximately about 900 ustad, 900 shuyukh who he studied underneath. Out of which 300 of them are considered to be tabi'een, those people who met the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum. After the death of his ustad, Nafi rahmatullah alayhi, Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi succeeded him in teaching dini ilm knowledge. And this, his age was only 17 years old when his ustad, unke ustad jab wafat pa gaye, to unki umar Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi ki umar 17 thi. He was only 17 years old. And he was appointed to teach as to succeed his ustad, Imam Nafi rahmatullah alayhi. And teaching where? Teaching in Masjid Nabawi, a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you can imagine, at such a young age, he was accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the age of 17 years old, he was accepted to teach a hadith in Masjid Nabawi. This responsibility, he faithfully discharged for the next 62 years. How many years he taught in Medina Munawwara in Masjid Nabawi? A hadith was 62 years. Whenever the occasion arrived to teach hadith, he would firstly perform either ghusl or wudu. Now look at the respect for a hadith that he had. He would either perform ghusl or wudu. Thereafter, he would dress in expensive quality clothes. Achhe kapde pehante the. Then he would groom his hair. He would make his hair nice. He would apply perfume, itar. And only after this elaborate ritual in respect of hadith, he would emerge outside to impart ulum. Just for the respect of hadith, he would dress so nice, make sure he's well, smelling nice, nice clothes, and then he would come out to the masjid to teach the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? For the respect of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As long as he remained engrossed in his hadith lecture, he would at regular intervals apply itar. He would always put itar on. His lecture room was impeccably clean, very clean, and beautifully furnished with quality carpets and cushions. So this we be taught by our ustads as well, that adab, respect. Not only respect for your teachers, respect for your classroom, respect for the place you are sitting, respect for the patla jo aap Quran rakhte hain, riyal jis par aap Quran, adab for everything. So look at our prior predecessors, how much respect they would have for even the place that they were going to teach ilm of knowledge. The atmosphere was so dignified, momentous, yet there was no noise. Now, look, the amount of students that Imam Malik, his gathering would have was 13,000 people. Kitne? 13,000 log. 13,000 people would attend his majalis of ahadith when he would teach. But there wouldn't be a single sound from the gathering, not a single sound from the gathering when they would learn from him. Nobody would even raise a murmur, not even a little bit of sound. Sufyan Thawri rahimahullah commented, if Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi would stop talking, all the students would lower their heads out of veneration, would not have the courage to again raise a question. Nobody would have the courage. Himmat nahi hoti thi कि कोई सवाल पूछे या कोई चीज कहे, बस सब खामोश. Even awe respects him, and he sits resplendently upon a throne of esteem, whereas the amazing feat is he is held in such honor despite not possessing a kingdom. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him so much respect that even if he didn't own any land and he wasn't a king of a place, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ne unko wo respect diya tha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him that honor. He was known as the Alim of Medina, Abdullah ibn Mubarak, the distinguished student of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayh, and Imam Malik rahmatullah alayh relates, one day I was present in the lecture of Imam Malik rahmatullah alayh whilst he was imparting hadith when a scorpion came and bit him. A scorpion came and bit him, and the scorpion did not bite him once, but it bit him 11 times. The scorpion bit him 11 times. However, despite the horrendous pain, he continued to teach the hadith. He did not stop. At the end of the lecture, when everyone had left, everybody was gone, I asked him that, Sheikh, I saw your face, going red and pale, and I could see there was some pain in you. What happened? So he replied, a scorpion had come and bit me 11 different places. But due to the adab, due to the respect of the hadith of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, I did not arise, I did not stand up from my place or stop my lecture. I continued. He said, now find that scorpion and kill it. So imagine, even if a little fly comes, we get irritated, or whatever it is, mosquito comes, we get irritated. Little things, we get irritated. This one did this, or this one saying that, we get irritated. Our attention goes away foreign. But imagine, for the respect of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he got bitten by the scorpion not once, 11 times, but he did not move. And he continued the hadith, teaching the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, due to the respect of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this was how much respect and adab they had for the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. हमारे उस्ताद कहते हैं, बा अदब बा नसीब, बे अदब बे नसीब. That person who has respect and adab, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him dini ilm. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him that light, the nur of the knowledge. But that person who does not have respect for his teachers, or for the place where he learns ilm, or from the books that he learns dini ilm and knowledge, then he will not get that light and the nur of a hadith. If he shows a don't care attitude, how he's sitting, he's not sitting with respect. How he is holding the book, he doesn't care. He'll hold the Quran like as if it's a storybook. He won't hold it with adab and respect. It won't matter if he puts it on the floor, because he's got no adab for it. So how do we expect to get the nur and the light of ilm? Because the nur and the light of ilm, this is given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another example of Imam Malik rahmatullah alayh, that he would also impart to people, those who wanted to seek ilm and knowledge. Once the Khalif of the time, Harun al-Rashid, was visiting Medina Munawwara and became aware that Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi was teaching Muwatta to the people. Now Muwatta was the book of ahadith which Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi compiled, so it was known as Muwatta. So the Caliph, he dispatched one of his wazirs, Ja'far, to the Imam's majlis with salams, that unko hamara salam pahunchana, and tell him that he must come and read the Muwatta to the Caliph. The Caliph of the time वो कह रहा है कि आप मेरे पास आपके Muwatta हमारे पास आकर सुना दो. So the Imam replied, return my salams to him and inform him that ilm does not attend you. Ilm doesn't come to you. One has to go in search for it. One has to go and seek ilm himself. You can't expect ilm knowledge to come to you. You must go to ilm to get ilm. Just as the wazir returned and was relating this message to the Caliph, the Imam too also arrived. Imam Sahab bhi aaye. Made salam and sat down. The Caliph commented, he said, I had sent a message to you which you have failed to heed. आपने मेरी बात नहीं सुनी जो मैंने आपको कहा. The Imam proceeded, Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, and he relate the statement of Zayd radiallahu anhu. He said, once upon an occasion of Nuzul Wahi, when Wahi was being descended, the blessed thigh of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was upon my thigh. As Zayd radiallahu anhu is saying, that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam's thigh was on my thigh. Only one small ayah of the glorious Quran was being revealed at that time. However, its weight was so heavy on me that I thought my thigh would break to pieces. Itna wazan tha वो वही के वजह से कि मैं समझा कि मेरा पेट तो टूट जाएगा टुकड़े टुकड़े. Now ponder, he says, now think, one huruf of the glorious Quran, one letter of the glorious Quran, one ayah of the glorious Quran, which the angel Jibreel alayhi salam, he made a distance equal to 40,000 years. 40,000 years he traveled to bring this one ayah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It took him how long? Jibreel alayhi salam, 40,000 years to bring this one ayah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the traveling distance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So is it not compulsory upon me to respect and make reverence of it? That I show respect for the deen, ilm and knowledge? Remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted you kingship. He's telling the caliph that he has given you a kingdom and integrity. Now, if you should be the first person to denigrate the worth of this ilm, to show no respect for this ilm, the very real danger exists of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroying your kingdomship, taking that kingdomship away from you. So he wanted to teach a caliph adab, not because he was a sheikh, but he wanted to teach him the adab of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That ilm and knowledge is such a great thing that a person has to make effort for it, to attain it. Immediately the caliph, he descended from his throne, he came down from his throne and sat down in front of the imam, who motioned him to sit adjacent to him on the pillow. So the imam गद्दे पर बैठ रहे थे, वो खलीफ भी नीचे उतरा, वहाँ उनके पास बैठ गया. The Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi told him, sit closer to me. Thereafter the caliph requested the imam to recite the muwatta. That now the caliph said, ab mujhe kuch ahadith sunano. Whereupon the imam replied, I have given up reciting it loudly for some time now, क्योंकि उनकी उम्र बड़ी हो गई अब. The caliph commented, well, in that case, order all those present to leave so that I may personally recite it to you. That जो सब बैठे हुए उनको कहो कि चले जाए ताकि मैं खुद आपको सुना दूं. The imam replied, one feature of ilm is that should laity be deprived of it on account of the elite, then even the elite will fail to benefit from ilm. Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi ne kaha, he said that even if you make khas the people of only like the big people for them to listen, then even they will not understand ilm knowledge. It's like, in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when the kuffar of Makkah said that, all these poor people, take them away from here and we will listen to your words. Take all these poor people away from here and we will listen to what you have said. And what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said. He refused. He said, no, these are people who were with me at the time of hardship. Thereafter, the Imam, rahimullah, requested an associate present to read and address the Caliph, to tell the Caliph, O Amirul Mu'mineen, it is the custom of the Ahl Ilm of this city, meaning of Madinatul Munawwara, that they prefer humility, humbleness in acquisition of ilm. So he taught him adab. What did he teach him first thing? Adab, etiquette. That you should have humility in yourself. Upon this, the Caliph moved away from this pillow and sat down in front of him like a student. गड्ढे से उतर गए और उस्ताद के सामने अदब के साथ बैठ गए. So this is ilm, knowledge, that we have been taught, that how a person can acquire ilm, knowledge, that he has to have adab, etiquettes for everything. The place where he learns ilm, knowledge from, the teacher he learns ilm, knowledge from, the books that he uses to respect those, the things that he places his ilm, knowledge upon. All these things a person shows respect to. The more adab, respect a person will have, the more nur and light of that ilm, knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give a person. Imam Malik rahmatullah alayh, the suffering and the death of Imam Malik rahmatullah alayh. Somebody complained to Ja'far bin Sulaiman, who was known as the notorious governor of that time of Medina, that Imam Malik did not consider it appropriate to make bay'ah, meaning swear allegiance to him, to such leaders. So he got infuriated, he became angry. The governor summoned the Imam and inflicted 80 lashes upon him. Moreover, his hands were so severely pulled that it dislocated both of his shoulders. And he treated him in a very inhuman way, so that it would prevent him from writing a hadith in the future. However, when the word of the torture became known, the Imam's popularity and fame only increased. When Khalif Mansur heard of this excess, during his visit to Medina, he offered to penalize the governor. But the big-hearted Imam replied, Wallah. He said, what did he say? When the lashes were striking my back, I accepted and made them halal on account of the proximity of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He forgave him as well. He said that, even though he's giving me these lashes, forgave him. So this was our elders. And why? Just like Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi, when he was put into prison and he was lashed and afterwards he was made shaheed. What was the reason for this? Why were these Imams, this was the end? It was only for that reason that they didn't want any status, they didn't want high, chairs or anything. Just because they refused this, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah refused to become the judge. The Caliph told him, I will make you the judge, you are the person to become the judge. Because he refused to become the judge, because of this he was imprisoned and lashed. And Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi as well. So imagine they refused this, high statuses in this world, because that was not their motive. When Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi was 90 years of age, he felt seriously ill for 3 weeks, and on the 14th of Rabi al-Awwal, he left this world. He was bathed by Kinana rahimahullah and Ibn Zubayr rahimahullah. The Amir of Madinatul Munawwara, Abdul Aziz ibn Muhammad, led his janazah salah. At the same time, when Imam Muhammad bin Hassan Shaybani, who was a student of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi, he was teaching in Baghdad. During his lecture, he got the news of the death of Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, and he said, verily to Allah we belong, and unto Him is our return. What a great tragedy. Malik bin Anas has passed away. The Amirul Mu'mineen of Hadith has died. So this was, the great personalities that of ilm, of knowledge that they had, how much respect they had, and no matter what people did to them, they were always there, always forgiven them. We should try and tread in their path, and appreciate what they have done for deen knowledge to reach us today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to make amal. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil